I'm Emma Derito. I'm the winemaker at Leleshwa. I've been there for about 13 years now. It gives me great pleasure to introduce our product to you. So what's the Leleshwa brand all about? It's about Kenyan authenticity, a brand created by Kenyans, and we are pushing it into the Kenyan market and also internationally. It is also a family-owned company. This is run by a family, and we're here to just keep pushing their vision. A little bit about what Leleshwa wines can offer you. One is to enjoy 100% Kenyan products and experience. When it comes to experiences, we have some wine tours that we run annually. You come in and you get to see our vineyards and a part of our winery, and you have a full wine tasting led by the winemaker. Ta-da! It's a wine paired course. Every course has some wine. Another experience that we give you is an experience to look deep into your soul. Why? Because we're creating products out of our thoughts, out of our creations. So we reflect it back to you and ask you, what are you doing? That's not the norm, because it's not the norm to make wine in Kenya. We're going out of the norm. So we ask you, what are you doing that should be out of the norm? Our products at Leleshwa, we have our flagship variety. That's the Sauvignon Blanc. So it's a Leleshwa Sauvignon Blanc. We're currently having our Leleshwa Chenin Blanc. It's been in the market for 3 years now. We have our Leleshwa Shiraz, and we're currently working on a Leleshwa Cabernet Sauvignon that we had guests today and they tasted. So it needs a bit more years before we release it, but that is in the works, a Leleshwa Cabernet Sauvignon. And on the spirit side, we're now releasing our Leleshwa Vodka. And what is unique about it is that this is a grape vodka. So we're distilling our wine to get a neutral spirit that we're selling as our vodka. Those are the products that we have. What makes us unique? One, obviously, is our location. Geographically, it is not common to find vineyards in this part of the world. We are a new latitude wine. So we're basically on the equator, which is about 0 degrees, slightly south of the equator. Then most of your winemaking regions are to your extreme north and to your extreme south, and they're usually between 30 degrees and 50 degrees to your north and 30 degrees and 50 degrees to the south. But for us, we're actually on 0. So that makes us unique in how we're producing the wines. The other thing is that our latitude, our altitude, we're quite high above sea level, our altitude. Most of the vineyards that maybe you know of are usually near a coast. Not saying all of them, just most. They're near a coast. That tells you that they're very low. They have a very low altitude, but we are at 1,800 meters above sea level, and we have a vineyard that's at 2,100 meters above sea level. So those are some of the things that make it different for us in this particular part of Kenya to grow the grapes. A brief introduction and explanation into how we make wine. Everything begins in the vineyard. When they say wine is made in the vineyard, it really is made there. So one of the things we need to decide before we harvest is the chemical levels of the wine. So we think about the pH, the acidity, and the sugar levels. Those are the things that advise at what point we should harvest. Once that passes the tests, we now enter the harvest period. We harvest very early in the morning. That's around at 3 a.m. when it's really cold. Yeah, the vineyard people really love me for that because we make them come in at 3 a.m. And then the grapes come into the winery. So we're trying to maintain a cold chain throughout. That's better. It preserves the flavors and also prevents any microbial action from occurring. So we do need to harvest that early, then get the grapes in cold. They come to the winery, we do the pressing. It's a gentle pressing done by our machine, and we get the juice. When we get the juice, we begin the fermentation process. It's a cold fermentation. It takes about 14 days to complete. Once it's complete, for our style of wine, it's basically ready for release. The only reason it doesn't come to the market is because we want to reduce the acid level in the wine. So we hold it for a while just to get the acid to our palatable level. That takes about 3 months for the white wines. And then finally, you'll find the wine on the shelves or at your favorite restaurant or at Greenspoon. At Leleshwa, We offer employment to the local community here close by and at Naivasha at large. They make almost 100% of the workforce here at Leleshwa. The other thing that we do is that we take interns from the universities and the colleges. You come into the company, we train you. After 3 months or 6 months, we get to absorb you into our system because you'll have learned from us. A lot of managers here, that's how their story began. For me, actually, I began as a trainee, and after 6 months, I became an assistant manager. And right now, we have a trainee in the winery. Actually, she's still in internship position. And that's actually the story everywhere in Kenya. So those are some of the socio-economic activities that we do here at Leleshwa. You can get Leleshwa at Greenspoon, your favorite online supermarket. And we would like to thank you so much for joining us on this journey. Keep following us, keep promoting us. Remember, buy Kenya, build Kenya. Peace out.